if the very things you've been told would make women desire you? The muscles, the money, the polished lifestyle are the exact reasons they feel nothing. It's a brutal truth most men refuse to face. You've been grinding for years, chasing the image of the man society promised women would worship. You built the body, stacked the cash, got the clothes, the car, the career. On paper, you're everything she's supposed to want. And yet, when you sit across from her, something is missing. She smiles. She's polite. Maybe she even agrees to see you again. But the spark, the hunger, the obsession, it never arrives. Meanwhile, some guy with none of it, no money, no status, no image, has women chasing him like he's rare gold. They text him first. They fight for his attention. They lean in and hang on every word. And you're left asking yourself in frustration, what the hell does he have that I don't? That's when the illusion cracks. Because what if you've been lied to all along? What if the formula you've been killing yourself to follow is completely backwards? What if the things you thought would make you irresistible are the very things that suffocate desire? And what if the real secret has nothing to do with your achievements at all, but with something invisible inside you? Something so rare, most men will never touch it. Once you see this truth, you can't unsee it. And from here forward, attraction, women, even how you see yourself, will never look the same again. You've been told all your life that if you look the part, women will line up, build muscle, climb the ladder, dress sharp, and earn the kind of money that turns heads. Do all of that, and you'll finally be the man every woman craves. So you push, you sweat through years at the gym, you hustle harder than everyone else, you sacrifice your free time and your peace of mind, convinced that once you reach the top, attraction will come naturally. But when you sit across from her, it doesn't happen. You smile, you lead the conversation, you show her the best version of yourself, and still there's a void. She may nod, laugh politely, even go out with you again, but the desire isn't there. She never texts first. She never chases. It feels like you're always giving and she's always just receiving. Then you look around and see the opposite. A friend who doesn't check any of those boxes becomes the center of women's attention. He doesn't have the body, the career, or the polish. Yet women hang on to every word, fight for his time, and treat him like he's rare. That contrast stings because it forces you to ask the question you've been avoiding: if all my effort doesn't matter, then what does? This is the moment where the truth begins to surface. The formula you've been following isn't just flawed, it's reversed. The more you try to prove yourself through external things, the more invisible you become. Because women don't fall in love with your resume. They fall in love with your energy. They don't get obsessed with your possessions. They get obsessed with how you make them feel. The illusion is that external success equals attraction. The reality is that obsession comes from something much deeper, something invisible, something you can't fake. The first lie every man must break free from is that attraction is logical. We've been trained to think women are ticking off boxes. Strong physique, stable income, confidence on display, and maybe a little charm on the side. It's the story we've been sold, the ladder we've been climbing. But the truth is harsher. You can check every box and still be the man she forgets the moment she walks away. What women actually respond to is not the checklist, but the invisible state you carry inside. It's not about what you own or what you wear, it's about the energy you bring into a room. The most magnetic men aren't always the richest or the fittest. They're the ones who walk with a grounded calm, who are comfortable in their own skin, who radiate an authenticity that can't be faked. That state is what women feel in their bones. This is where a concept few men understand comes in, what we could call the gap in perceived value. Women don't obsess over a man they view as equal or beneath them. They obsess over the man they sense as higher, the one who carries a presence they can't match. Notice it's not about his actual status or wealth, it's about perception. It's about how he makes her feel in comparison to him. This is why the man with little to his name can still create a storm of desire, while another man with everything struggles to hold attention. The game is not about building an external case for yourself. It's about carrying an internal certainty that places you in her mind as the man and above. And the paradox is this: the more you chase approval, the more you reveal you don't belong there. Picture a night out with friends. One guy shows up like he's stepped out of a magazine. Perfect suit, expensive watch, flawless physique. He looks like the obvious choice. Next to him is a man who seems ordinary. His car is old, his clothes simple, his lifestyle plain. On paper, it's no contest. But when the conversation starts, something strange happens. The man with all the flash tries to impress. He lists his achievements without realizing it. He leans too hard into charm. Meanwhile, the ordinary guy cracks a perfectly timed joke. He's relaxed, unbothered, not trying to prove a thing. And suddenly, the room shifts. Laughter flows his way. Women lean closer. They lock eyes with him. Not the man who looks perfect. His presence, his effortless energy, makes him magnetic. That moment is the clearest proof of what really matters. Attraction isn't about inventory. It's not a checklist of things you can hold in your hands. It's about the invisible current you project when you're not seeking approval. The one man is busy performing, and women sense it. The other is simply himself, and women feel that freedom. And freedom is intoxicating. This is why so many men struggle. They overinvest in the external, but neglect the energy they radiate. Yet, energy always wins. Because while women notice the surface, they are moved by what they feel. And what they feel comes from presence, not possessions. Attraction happens fast. Within moments of meeting you, a woman places you into a mental frame above her or below her. If she feels you are above, desire begins. If she feels you are below, it's over before it starts. Here's where most men sabotage themselves. The harder you try to impress, the faster she feels you are beneath her. Neediness is the death of attraction. Every time you push too hard to prove yourself, you send the message that you don't believe in your own value. And when you don't believe, she won't either. On the other hand, when you move with calm certainty, when you don't seek her validation, you project the opposite. Without saying a word, you communicate, "I am enough." That unshakable quiet places you in the above frame in her mind. And once you are there, everything changes. She invests more. She wonders what makes you so certain. She begins to crave your attention, not the other way around. The frame is everything, above or below, prize or pursuer. Once she has placed you, the rest of the story unfolds from there. Comment below. What do you think is quietly killing your attraction? Lack of confidence or trying too hard? I read every comment. One of the strongest forces in attraction is something men rarely understand: pre-selection. Women are drawn to men who are already desired by others. It's a silent signal, but it changes everything. Many men try to fake this. They brag about past girlfriends, flirt with others to spark jealousy, or drop hints about how many women want them. But women see through this instantly. It feels needy, desperate, and weak. Real pre-selection doesn't need to be performed. It comes from a man who naturally lives a life where women want to be part of it. He doesn't flaunt it. He doesn't need to. He carries himself with quiet ease, and that ease communicates abundance. When a woman senses she's not the only one who notices you, curiosity awakens. She begins to compete for your attention. She wonders, what do other women see in him? What makes him different? And suddenly, you're no longer just an option. You're the prize. But this only works when it's real. If you pretend, she'll feel the gap between your words and your energy. Authentic pre-selection is subtle. It radiates without effort. And that authenticity is what triggers the instinct to pursue. Most men build their worth on things they can show: the car, the job, the body, the watch. It feels powerful, but it's fragile. Lose them, and your confidence collapses. That's external value. It's conditional, always at risk. Internal value is different. It comes from within. It's the man who feels secure without proof. He accepts himself fully, stands tall in his own skin, and moves without needing applause. That kind of self-assurance can't be bought, but it can be felt. Women sense it immediately, and it's addictive, because women don't fall for possessions. They fall for the energy that comes from inner certainty. The man who isn't rattled by rejection or shaken by criticism carries a steadiness most men never reach. And that steadiness allows her to relax. She feels safe in his frame. This is why many successful men fail in dating. They look powerful, but are starving for approval. Their success is a mask for insecurity. Meanwhile, a man of average means but deep inner value can draw women effortlessly, because inner value lasts, external value fades, and only internal value creates obsession. Validation is like a drug. The more you crave it, the weaker you become. Men fall into this trap without knowing. They build success, but deep down they're still waiting for someone else to declare them enough. So when they meet a woman, every text, every smile, every silence becomes a test of their worth. And the more they chase her approval, the faster it slips away. Women sense this immediately. No matter how polished you look, if your self-worth depends on her, she feels it. And when she feels it, attraction dies. This is why some men who look like kings still fail. Their crowns are made of gold, but their hearts are begging. Women don't chase beggars, no matter how rich. The men who inspire obsession are different. They validate themselves. They accept praise without being addicted to it, and criticism without collapsing. Their value is rooted, not borrowed. That kind of strength is rare, and rarity is magnetic. The paradox is simple. The less you need her validation, the more she seeks yours. Presence is power. Most men can't give it. They're distracted, anxious, rehearsing lines in their heads. They're there, but not really there, and women feel the absence immediately. Now, imagine the opposite. A man fully present, his attention steady, his silence calm, not awkward, his eyes holding hers without fear. That presence makes her feel seen in a way she rarely experiences. It makes her feel alive. Add authenticity to that, and the effect deepens. Most men wear masks, shaping themselves into what they think she wants. But authenticity is freedom. A man who shows up as himself, unfiltered, sends a rare message. This is me. Take it or leave it. That honesty feels like oxygen in a world of pretense. Then there's self-acceptance. Confidence isn't built on perfection. It's built on being okay with imperfection. A man who accepts himself radiates calm. He isn't desperate, isn't chasing, isn't afraid of rejection. He simply is. When presence, authenticity, and self-acceptance align, they create an aura few men ever reach. It's quiet, it's rare, and it pulls her in like gravity. So much of what men chase isn't even theirs. It's programming. From a young age, you were told what success should look like: abs, money, status. You believed if you checked those boxes, you'd finally feel worthy. But look around. How many men have those things and still feel empty? They built the image, but inside, they're insecure. Because any worth built on the script of society is fragile. The moment it's threatened, confidence disappears. Freedom begins when you write your own script. When you stop living for approval and start asking, what do I actually want? What do I value? That authenticity is rare, and rare is irresistible. Men don't really want money or status. They want confidence. They want peace. They want freedom from insecurity. And those things can't be bought. They can only be built from within. That's why some ordinary men radiate unshakable presence. While successful men crumble under pressure, women sense this instantly. They're not addicted to the man who plays the role. They're addicted to the man who lives his own truth. Here's a paradox few men understand. The moment you make sex your ultimate goal, you lose power. If your self-worth depends on whether she sleeps with you, she controls you. And once she senses that, the dynamic flips. You're no longer the prize. You're the pursuer. Women pick up on this desperation quickly. When they know you're driven only by desire, they can manipulate or dismiss you. You've already lost. But when sex isn't your focus, everything changes. When you value connection, energy, and presence more than the outcome, you shift the balance. You're no longer chasing, you're choosing. And ironically, that's when she starts chasing you. Sometimes the most attractive thing you can do is say no. To decline, not from fear, but from choice, sends a powerful signal. It shows abundance, strength, control. Most men can't do it. But the man who can set himself apart, he can't be manipulated. He radiates power, and power is magnetic. At the core of deep attraction is groundedness. Stoicism isn't coldness, it's stability. It's being unshaken no matter what storm you face. A man like this feels like a rock in crashing waves, solid, immovable, dependable. Most men today are restless, reactive, chasing outcomes. They panic at rejection, crumble under silence, and lose themselves in the process. Women sense this instantly, and attraction fades. What women crave isn't perfection, it's presence. They want to feel you won't lose yourself no matter what. This kind of steadiness is rare. It makes women relax. It lets them lean into their own feminine energy because they sense they can trust your frame. And that trust is intoxicating. Men are visual, women are emotional. That's why a woman can obsess over a man others would call average, while ignoring the one who looks perfect but lacks presence. Looks may open the door, but energy decides if she stays. For men, attraction is instant and visual. For women, it's emotional and layered. Looks may spark curiosity, but feelings fuel obsession. This explains why romance novels outsell everything else. Women aren't buying images of handsome men. They're buying the emotions, the tension, the intensity of how it feels. They don't crave the picture, they crave the story their heart lives through it. And this is where so many men go wrong. They invest everything into appearance, money, or charm. But if you don't stir her emotions, it doesn't matter. You might impress her, but you won't haunt her thoughts. Groundedness is the bridge. The man who is calm, rooted, and authentic awakens her emotions without trying. He makes her feel safe, yet challenged, secure, yet excited. That emotional cocktail is what she becomes addicted to. She doesn't remember how you looked. She remembers how you made her feel. The deepest secret isn't a technique. It's internal peace. The man who accepts himself fully, who doesn't wait for success or approval to feel whole, radiates something women can't resist. Most men chase forever. They think they'll finally feel secure when they reach a certain level. But if you're not enough now, nothing external will fix it. Peace must come first. When you stop needing approval, you move differently. Praise feels good, but you don't depend on it. Criticism stings, but it doesn't define you. You're steady, comfortable in silence, comfortable alone. That kind of calm is rare, and rare is magnetic. Women feel this immediately. A man of peace gives them the freedom to surrender to their own femininity. His steadiness unlocks their softness, and in that polarity, chemistry ignites. Women don't obsess over looks or status. They obsess over the man who doesn't need them, but chooses them. That choice, born of inner strength, makes him unforgettable. The truth is, simple obsession doesn't come from the car you drive, the body you sculpt, or the money you stack. It comes from the man you become when you no longer beg for validation, when you are grounded, authentic, and at peace with yourself. Women feel it instantly. They don't just notice you, they crave you. They don't remember what you showed them. They remember how you made them feel. So the question isn't how to impress her. The question is this: can you stand as the man who doesn't need her, but chooses her? Because that choice, born of strength and peace, is what makes you unforgettable. Now it's in your hands. You can keep chasing approval that only drifts further away, or step into the rarest kind of power, the power of a man who validates himself. The moment you do, the game changes. She leans in. She invests. She obsesses. Become that man. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Thank you for watching. If this message hit you, don't just scroll past, take action. Subscribe. Dive deeper into our content. And start rewiring your mindset to reclaim control. Dating isn't about chasing women. It's about owning your frame, living with clarity, and letting attraction flow to you. Comment below. What do you think is quietly killing your attraction? Lack of confidence or trying too hard? I read every comment, because this isn't just a channel, it's a brotherhood. A place where men rise above confusion, cut through the lies, and reclaim their power. I'll see you in the next video. Stay sharp, stay grounded, stay unstoppable.